Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. First tonight, one of the state's largest healthcare providers has announced a new partnership that could affect a portion of its staff. Devin Dagnall met with the president and CEO to discuss what changes are coming.
Northern Light Health announced that they will begin a strategic relationship with Optum. Tim Dentry, the president and CEO of Northern Light Health, says that he hopes the partnership will help streamline a lot of the services the healthcare provider has struggled with in the past. Dentry says the partnership will improve things like information systems, supply chains, and the digital experience for patients.
I'm very positive and upbeat about this because I think it's good. It's good for our staff, and it's especially good for our direct caregivers.
According to Dentry, the new relationship will only affect about 10% of the active staff across the whole of Northern Light Health.
This is for very specific operations, and again, they're support services. So it's not direct patient care in any way, shape, or form. This is really supply chain. It is the rev cycle from the time you schedule an appointment through billing and all those kinds of headache things that are in healthcare.
Dentry says that those affected by the partnership don't need to worry about any downsizing because their jobs are actually guaranteed under the first year of the contract. After that, he says there's still no cause for concern.
Other health systems that have had this in place for 3-4 years, they've actually added staff. Their turnover rate is less than half of what ours is right now in the state. There's no guarantees beyond a year, but we think the track record is such that it's going to be a very positive thing for all of their careers.
Dentry says it will take some time before Optum is fully integrated, and he expects the process to be more or less completed by the end of March. In Brewer for ABC7 and Fox 22, I'm Devin Dagnall.
And some good news now on the condition of Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin. The team reports he has shown, quote, remarkable improvement. Hamlin went into cardiac arrest after making a tackle during Monday night's game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Hamlin remains critically ill and in the hospital's intensive care unit, but he was able to open his eyes last night, and today he was communicating through writing. According to the Bills, the first question he asked was, did we win the game?
To paraphrase one of our partners, when he asked, did we win, the answer is, yes, Damar, you won. You've won the game of life. And that's probably the most important thing out of this. And we really need to keep him at the center of everything else that's going on. And we really want to ensure a good outcome for him.
Doctors say they are still working to determine the exact cause of Hamlin's cardiac arrest. Coming up in sports, we'll have reaction from Patriots players and staff who are currently preparing for their matchup with Buffalo on Sunday. New details now in a crash that badly damaged a home and may lead to charges. The Piscataquis County Sheriff's Office says they have identified the driver of a vehicle that crashed into a home at 6 Main Road in Abbott Wednesday evening. The Sheriff's Office says the operator was a 16-year-old girl from Guilford who claimed that she had swerved to avoid a deer when she hit the home. Construction crews were at the scene of the incident today, starting to make some repairs. According to the Sheriff's Office Facebook page, deputies responded to what they called a hit-and-run incident along Main Road at 4:40 p.m. Wednesday, where a vehicle appeared to be traveling at a high rate of speed before crashing into the home. Nobody was there at the time. Officers are still investigating, but say some charges may be coming. Well, waterfront businesses in Bar Harbor have filed an injunction as part of their federal lawsuit against the new daily limit on cruise ship passengers allowed in the town. In November, Bar Harbor voters approved a limit of 1,000 incoming passengers per day to the popular tourist destination. The lawsuit states 2,000 to 4,500 passengers normally disembark daily during the cruise ship season. Fish Main Restaurant Group co-owner Christy Bond says the limit would be devastating to businesses that rely on the town's strong tourism industry.
We'll start with, we'll probably have to close earlier and open later. We'll probably have to employ less people. The list goes on. If I'm employing less people, there's less people in town spending money. The trickle down is real.
Bond says the businesses have filed for an injunction with the hopes of putting these new rules on hold while the lawsuit plays out.
The purpose of that is to keep everything the status quo while the judge is going through and trying to determine his decision, so that hopefully the cruise ships next year can stay as they are scheduled. We're hopeful that the judge will understand that it's going to cause immediate irreparable harm if all these ships don't come next summer.
Bond says the business owners were shocked and disheartened by the vote by Bar Harbor residents who said they were fed up with congestion during the busy months. As of now, the judge has yet to make a decision on the motion for injunction. Well, tens of thousands of Mainers are about to get $450 sent to their bank accounts. It's part of that emergency heating relief plan that was just signed into law. And as Asia Reed shows us, a lot of people are saying they're looking forward to the extra help.
Eligible Mainers will receive $450 as a part of the emergency heating relief plan, which the governor signed Wednesday, right before her inauguration.
I think it's too bad that it got delayed into January, but I'm glad that the legislature was able to come together and actually help the Maine people get through this hard winter.
The plan is to help eligible Mainers with $40 million going towards home heating assistance and $10 million in emergency fuel assistance.
I believe that families are struggling, and the ones that are struggling need heat.
It's necessary for a lot of people, but a lot of people it isn't.
Not everyone is on board with the idea.
Not unless they deserve it. If you're on Social Security, and that's all you got, and basically, but people with making $100,000, $200,000, $80,000, take care of yourself.
Single filing Mainers who make under $100,000 a year could receive $450. $900 for those filing jointly and making less than $200,000 a year.
I think $450 is a good start. I think some folks will always need more.
I mean, it's better than nothing. That's about half a tank for most little houses these days. It helps.
I think perhaps $450 isn't going to go very far this time.
$450 would probably buy half a tank of oil, I think, and it would help. I just wonder where the money's coming from.
The state says funding comes from surplus money. Governor Mills says about 880,000 residents will get the money. The state says Mainers could receive a check in their mailbox as soon as mid-January.
Well, the city of Belfast is expecting costly repairs after that late December storm devastated the coast. Our David Ledford has that story.
It was a big storm. We've seen them before. We'll see them again. But we'll make do.
Belfast is still dealing with the fallout from a storm in late December that brought a different kind of winter weather. According to city officials, the cost to repair city-owned property, including docks and boathouses, and clear debris from the powerful storm that hit on December 23rd, could cost as much as $120,000. Belfast Fire Chief Patrick Richards says the significance of the damage is due to the city's proximity to the ocean and a lack of an effective coastal defense.
We sustained some very heavy winds, high winds, a lot of impact from the ocean, the sea level rise. Anything that comes from the ocean, we suffer quite a significant impact. There's just no protection there.
While a large portion of this debris was cleared before the start of the new year, many docks are still stacked up on nearby land, waiting to be repaired. Richards says this has impacted the fishing and boating community the most, but does not expect summer tourism to be affected. Belfast Mayor Eric Sanders says that the city has seen similar storm damage in the past, and that the town is planning to rebuild the current breakwater, which is meant to reduce the power of incoming waves before they reach the shore. Sanders says that rebuilding the breakwater to be both taller and longer could cost an estimated $11 million.
It's going to cost money, but it's needed. In '87, people said they were crazy to build it, they'd never need it. And I was down there that morning on the 23rd, and you couldn't even see it.
In Belfast, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22.
And speaking of winter weather, we certainly got some today, and how much more is on the way? Well, let's get a first check of our forecast and find out.
Thank you so much, Beth. Our first weather is brought to you by Saliba's Rug Cleaners, Maine's largest rug cleaning destination for over 70 years. All right, so another cloudy day out there today, but this time instead of rain and 50s, we had some snow showers in the area. Yes, not much piled up, maybe an inch or two in some spots, but overall, cloudy skies have been continuing. We did start out with temperatures below freezing, but still well above our average that we should have this time of year. We were hovering at around 26 here in town earlier this morning, 27 in Bar Harbor. So everywhere it was slippery out there, things were refrozen, and later on in the day, we did actually have some mid to upper 30s down south. But here in town, temperatures were hovering close to the freezing mark. Same thing in Bar Harbor. Up north, though, temperatures a little bit cooler. So hopefully you guys were really cautious out there because it is very slick. And that's going to continue into the overnight hours. So by your morning commute tomorrow, once again, temperatures will be on the cooler end and it will be slick out there. Beth?
Already, Conrad, noted. And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, how officials with the Maine Bureau of Highway Safety are spreading awareness in the hopes of making our roads a bit safer. And going green, the city of Bangor has installed more electric vehicle charging stations. Those stories and more local news when we come right back.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Realtors at Morrison & Company with Next Home Experience have been serving satisfied clients since 2016. With more than $25 million in sales for 2022 alone, we hold the expertise to get you from under contract to closing during this very personal experience. Our modern and hands-on approach will get you where you want to be, faster and with less hassle. Call us today for your real estate options.
Dad, not another showing.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Odlin Road in Herman. When it comes to winter footwear, warmth, waterproof, and safety matter most. Take the drive today to Comfort Shoes and More in Newport and discover the latest in winter boot technology. We've got boots rated from -60 to 0 degrees Fahrenheit to keep your feet warm in any weather. Check out the new materials guaranteed to keep your feet dry. Relieve the anxiety of slipping and falling this winter with the new Navitech with grippers built right into the sole. Just flip it and clip it and you're ready to go. Be prepared this winter. Take the drive today to Comfort Shoes and More in Newport.
Following a shocking loss, how much added pressure will Roman Reigns place on the Usos to retain the tag team titles? Plus, Charlotte Flair is back. It's an all-new Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox.
Fox 22 and ABC 7 have a great way for you to save money on dining out. It's half-off dining from foxbangor.com. Just click on half-off deals and start saving. Be watching for our featured deal every Thursday at 9 a.m. Plus, we add bonus deals all the time. You can buy $50 gift certificates for $25. Also, check out Half Off Fun while you're there too. Half Off Dining at foxbangor.com. From Fox 22 and ABC 7.
A somber record for 2022. Maine finished the year with 179 highway fatalities, the most in 15 years. Officials with the Maine Bureau of Highway Safety are spreading awareness in hopes of making Maine roads safer. Highway Safety Coordinator Nicholas Brown says they've seen some disturbing trends since the onset of the pandemic.
It just seems like once the pandemic hit, people started reverting back to doing more reckless endangerment when it comes to driving and whatnot, and making, the wrong choices when they get behind the wheel. It's safety first. You want to put your phone away. You have to make sure you have no impairment whatsoever.
ultimate goal is to have 0 fatalities, of course, and he says that takes everyone doing their part. Always remember to wear your seatbelt and drive sober and without any distractions. The city of Bangor has installed 2 new electric vehicle charging stations, which are now available for public use. The stations are located across the street from Bangor Public Library and inside the Pickering Square parking garage. Bangor has been working on installing these charging stations since receiving funding from the state's Community Action Grant Program. The new additions bring the total number of city-provided stations to 4, each having the ability to charge 2 cars at the same time. Well, 10 rural libraries across the state of Maine have received funding in order to make telehealth appointments more accessible. It's all part of the Maine State Library Health Connect program. That program is supported by funding awarded to the Maine State Library as part of the American Rescue Plan Act. Under the program, select libraries will offer telehealth appointments free of charge. Residents can set up online face-to-face appointments that are held inside of a soundproof private room at the designated library of choice. The Alice L. Pendleton Library in Islesboro, Cary Library in Holton, Pittsfield Public Library, and the Skowhegan Free Public Library are just a few of those selected for the program.
It's a great savings. With gas prices almost $4 a gallon here now, it saves a lot of money for the patients and a lot of time and gives them peace of mind that they don't have to travel in the wintertime.
Wellington says telehealth patients just need to bring their Zoom ID with them to the library in order to join their appointments in those new spaces. Well, the family of a Maine veteran voiced concerns about the condition of his gravestone at a state cemetery, saying the lettering was fading away. Dan Lamparello shows us how the issue is impacting much more than one veteran and how it will be fixed.
The Southern Maine Veterans Cemetery is a place of remembrance.
It's a little over 7 years that he's been buried here.
For Marilyn Earle, it's a place to see her husband Richard, who served in the Army Air Corps.
He was a helicopter pilot and he was in Vietnam.
Like so many other Maine veterans, that service is honored row by row here. But amid what's supposed to be a uniformed memorial, Marilyn Earle says her husband's grave no longer fits in.
If you look at the one directly behind him, the name and all stand right out and look beautiful. And this one, it's like ho-hum. No, it's just not correct.
Earle says she first started seeing the black inlay on the gravestone chip away a few years ago, but it's now almost completely gone.
Before, it was very nice. The letters were very prominent. There was no trouble reading it, and you could tell what branch of service they were in, what years they served and all. And now you have to go right up. You'd almost have to do a shading on it to read it.
Her late husband's grave is not the only one, with dozens in different stages of deterioration, something Earle says she brought to the cemetery but couldn't get an answer or fix on.
And he said, well, there's not much you can do about it. And I said, well, I'd like to color it in myself. And he said, well, that would be defacing government property, and there's certainly a fine or even jail for that. Well, I became intimidated by that a bit.
Which eventually led her and her family to reach out to the I-Team. And within hours, we had an answer and a commitment to make things right. The Maine Bureau of Veterans Services says the black inlay was painted with lithochrome, a water-resistant paint which over time can fade or chip in a very non-uniform way. The headstones are provided free for veterans buried here by the federal government, and the state now says they'll be working with them to replace Richard Earle's. It's a step his widow hopes could help other veterans moving forward.
Television reaches a lot of people, and people are concerned about the veterans.
Nice to see there are steps to progress there. Well, coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, the World Health Organization is criticizing China's handling of the pandemic as new restrictions on travelers coming into the U.S. from China go into effect. And President Biden turns his focus to the southern border following criticism of his administration's handling of the influx of migrants. We'll have those stories and more when the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 comes right back.
The Sebec Lake House proves that Days World is ready for any challenge. The client had very high standards for this entire project. You can tell by Sebec Lake actually being in granite in the floor. Days World had to match those high standards, and we did with the Mitsubishi electric equipment that we carry. They didn't want any diffusers on that first level.
You cannot see the diffusers anywhere, just like they promised. We trusted Dave's World with this project, and we're very pleased with the results, and I'd highly recommend them.
It wasn't just a little bit of soot on an old family photo. It wasn't just a couple of books soaked in water. And when you called Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration, you were not just another customer. That family photo hangs high yet again, and those irreplaceable first editions stay cemented in history. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration.
Come try one of our daily specials at Pat's Pizza in Hamden.
Tuesday, spaghetti or ziti with meatballs or sausage, only $5.50.
Wednesday, large one-topping pizza, only $8.50.
Thursday, get an oven-baked wrap for only $6.
Friday is fish and fries for only $8.
And Saturday, get a small one-item pizza with a fountain soda, only $8.
Bring the family to Pat's Pizza, 662 Main Road, North Hamden.
Find meaningful work in direct care, like Justin, who works with people who are brain injured in a residential care facility.
Make sure you're compatible, because if you're going to be a DSP, you want to do it because you want to and enjoy it, not for a job. The right personality and character traits, in my opinion, to be a DSP is kind, caring, outgoing, and understanding.
Visit caringforme.org to learn more and make an impact through a compassionate career.
To the bucket. Big time basketball right there. Shot out of a cannon. Bring the house down. Can you believe this? Talk about onions. What a play. How about that? Wow. None better than this. That's what I'm talking about.
Creighton, UConn, then Michigan, Michigan State. Saturday at 11:30 Eastern on Fox.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
President Biden's legal team is trying to make its case for the massive and controversial student loan bailout. This comes as the U.S. Supreme Court is about to consider two challenges to the proposal next month. Fox's Edward Lawrence takes a look from the White House.
The Biden administration argues in a new U.S. Supreme Court brief that challenges coming from GOP-led states or other parties failed to show they would be directly harmed by the policy. White House officials directed us to legal expert Stephen Vladeck, who agrees with the brief and believes standing will be a big part of the oral arguments before the court in February.
The real wild card for February is not the merits of this case, but rather the question of standing and whether the states in the Nebraska case or the two private parties in the Texas case have standing to sue. It would be really, really difficult, even for this Supreme Court, to hold that these plaintiffs have standing while still being consistent with their own prior standing decisions.
The administration argues that the Federal HEROES Act gives the president authority to use Education Department money from taxpayers to pay off up to $20,000 in student debt if they received a Pell Grant and up to $10,000 if the student did not. A major issue for the justices would be whether the loan forgiveness program should continue when some argue the pandemic, national emergency, that prompted the debt relief has effectively ended. The administration argues COVID has created continuing economic effects justifying keeping the plan. New York Federal Reserve researchers estimate the plan would forgive $441 billion in student loans, which represents more than 31% of all outstanding student debt. Republicans argued nothing is ever free.
And ultimately, somebody's got to pay for it. People know this idea that you can have a free lunch, that student loans can be free, and your house note can be free.
Because the Supreme Court will hear the oral arguments in late February, we expect a ruling by late June. At the White House, Edward Lawrence, Fox Business.
After the 11th round of voting yielded no House Speaker Thursday night, House members voted to adjourn until noon Friday. Kevin McCarthy still fighting for the top job, but so far a group of conservative Republicans are standing firmly in his way. Fox's Caroline Shively reports.
And I strongly believe that Kevin McCarthy is the person to lead this body in this new fight.
That's been the opinion of about 200 House Republicans for 3 days now. It's the other 20 who say never Kevin, or at least not now Kevin.
Kevin McCarthy does not have the votes.
McCarthy has remained upbeat as reporters have chased him across the Capitol.
It's better that we go through this process right now so we can achieve the things we want to achieve for the American public.
Some McCarthy supporters are fed up with the no votes.
Tell me what he did wrong. I don't know. Was it giving Lauren Boebert $2 million to win her race? Right? Was it giving Bob Good millions to win his race?
Other Republicans are sounding hopeful about McCarthy's prospects.
Within the next 24 hours, for what I hear, and I repeat, everything could change, that he will have an agreement with the 16, 17, or 18 of the holdouts.
There had been talks of reaching across the aisle to cut a deal on a compromise candidate, but that idea got little traction on the floor.
House Democrats stand united again on this ballot to make sure that Hakeem Jeffries is the lead vote getter in this chamber.
And in no way, shape, or form will a Democrat ever hold the gavel to a Republican-controlled House.
Democratic leaders are warning their members to dig in and be ready to vote all weekend long if they have to. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Well, there are new restrictions on travelers coming into the U.S. from China. Other nations are also implementing the policy as the World Health Organization criticizes China's handling of the pandemic. Fox's David Lee Miller reports from JFK Airport in Queens, New York.
Passengers boarding a plane in China headed to the U.S. must show their airline a negative COVID test, taken within 2 days of departure, or they will not be allowed to board. The CDC implemented the new requirement Thursday to reduce the spread of the virus in the U.S. The World Health Organization says China is underrepresenting COVID hospitalizations and deaths, despite reports of overwhelmed hospitals and morgues. Compounding COVID worries, a new Omicron variant is spreading at an alarming rate, responsible for causing more than 3/4 of all new cases in the Northeast. While highly contagious, some doctors do not believe it is more virulent. A recently expanded CDC program at 7 international airports in the U.S. is looking for volunteers to provide a nasal swab that will be used by researchers.
There's a lot of places where we don't know what variants are circulating, so using travelers as sentinels is a way to fill in the blind spots, if you will.
China, meanwhile, says its own COVID situation is under control and that travel restrictions imposed by the U.S. and more than a dozen other countries are not based on science.
We are firmly opposed to attempts to manipulate the epidemic prevention and control measures for political purposes.
Chinese officials further sparked global skepticism by claiming Wednesday there was only one death from the virus on mainland China. There is also growing concern about Chinese New Year later this month, when tens of millions take their annual holiday. At JFK Airport in Queens, New York, David Lee Miller, Fox News.
Well, President Biden is turning his focus to the southern border, where he plans to make a visit Sunday to see the migrant crisis firsthand. Fox's Madeline Rivera reports from Washington.
But instead of safe and orderly process at the border, we have a patchwork system.
After months of criticism for his administration's handling of the border, President Biden is cracking down on illegal border crossings. The U.S. will allow up to 30,000 migrants from Venezuela, Nicaragua, Haiti, and Cuba every month if they have a sponsor and pass background checks.
This new process is orderly, it's safe, and it's humane, and it works.
We are here because our immigration system is broken, outdated,
and in desperate need of reform.
At the same time, the U.S. plans to send roughly the same number of people to Mexico each month if they enter illegally through Title 42. The Supreme Court has kept the policy in place for now, but the president's measures mark a big turnaround for the Biden administration.
This is an authority that he has said he doesn't like, that they are fighting in front of the Supreme Court, yet he's going to extend Title 42.
The border has emerged as a top political thorn for the president, who's making his first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border Sunday. Immigration advocacy groups are slamming the president's plan. The ACLU saying this knee-jerk expansion of Title 42 will put more lives in grave danger. The Department of Homeland Security says it will begin denying asylum to those who do not follow legal pathways. The president is also set to visit Mexico, where he is expected to talk about migration issues with the country's president. In Washington, Mallory Rivera, Fox News.
The man accused of brutally stabbing 4 University of Idaho students to death appeared in court. Fox's Matt Napolitano has the latest on how police were able to find him.
Brian Kohberger in an Idaho court Thursday to face first-degree murder charges in the November slayings of 4 college students. It's Kohberger's first court appearance since being extradited from Pennsylvania, where he was taken into custody last week while visiting family.
Count 2 alleges that you committed the felony offense of murder in the first degree.
According to a newly unsealed affidavit, Kohberger's arrest came after investigators used DNA evidence to link him to a knife sheath left behind at the scene of the murders. Cell phone records also indicate Kohberger visited the area near the home at least a dozen times prior to that night. His phone, however, was not traced there that evening. Documents also reveal police have video evidence showing a white sedan believed to be driven by Kohberger circling the house before the murders and then fleeing from the scene at a high speed around 4:30 a.m. One of the most alarming pieces of evidence, testimony from another roommate in the house who alleges they saw a tall man wearing all black and a mask on the night of the murders. The man apparently walked right by the roommate as they stood frozen in shock. In Moscow, Kohberger's arrest is welcome news, as many say it's the first step towards closure.
I hope justice will be served. Nothing will ever bring those kids back, but I hope justice will be served.
Kohberger will remain in custody without bail, and he's been ordered not to contact surviving victims or their families. His next court day is set for next week. Matt Napolitano, Fox News.
And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, right over your head, a tracked comet will be visible for the first time in 50,000 years. And in sports, Herman High School is breaking ground on their new athletics complex. We'll be right back.
The Dolphins take on the Jets. Then the Cowboys fight for the NFC East crown against the Commanders. The NFL season finale, Sunday on Fox.
CEM DP Porter Contractors has been in business for over 40 years in the Bangor area. We specialize in design build for commercial, medical, and residential. We can assist our customers with anything from lot procurement to helping find financing for your project, along with building maintenance and renovations. CEM DP Porter Contractors is currently hiring at Herman for multiple positions, including carpenters and laborers. We offer vacation, holidays, a 3% IRA match, and competitive pay. If interested in applying, please contact Jason at 207-848-7486.
Finding the right vehicle for you and your family can be a daunting task. At Varney Buick GMC, our expert staff is here to make the journey as painless as possible. Our goal is to get you and your family in a vehicle that will best fit into your lifestyle. Communication is key, and our team makes sure to be completely transparent throughout the process, informing you on all of your options. Come experience Varney value, only at Varney Buick GMC.
Come bowl a few games here at Bangor Brewer Bowling Lanes. We're one of the only candlepin bowling alley centers in Maine, conveniently located in the heart of Brewer. You always have the opportunity to simply bowl for fun. However, you can also join a league. We have youth leagues, adult and senior leagues. Now don't forget, we also host birthday parties for under $100, and gift certificates are also available. Give us a call right away at 989-3798 to make reservations for your birthday party today.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
I understand that this is all very traumatizing. It's impossible not to think the worst. But I want you to know that we get our babies back.
Come on, let's go, 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 go.
No matter where you go, I'll find you. No matter where you go.
We can't stop until we catch this guy. This is life or death.
It's okay. I'm right here.
Alert. Missing Persons Unit. Premieres January 8th on Fox.
A Wall Street Journal report says workers are less career-oriented and bosses are adjusting. The report says more workers are saying no to working long weekends. It also says companies aren't filling promotions as fast, with bosses asking staffers to apply for openings. Employers want more work out of their employees, but employees want more pay, and businesses worry about finding people willing to put in the extra time. One survey of 3,000 workers reports 36% say their ambitions have declined over 3 years. Experts say employees may work harder to show their value in a severe economic downturn. Well, a new study finds too much social media can affect children's brains, making them addicted to likes. Researchers from the University of North Carolina say during this critical development time for the brain, children are more sensitive to social media feedback in the forms of likes, shares, tags, and comments. This creates excitement to addictively check their phones, taking an activity they could positively or negatively be involved in. Researchers cited a previous study that revealed 78% of teens check their phone 15 times a day, many constantly on Instagram and Snapchat, looking for reactions to their posts. Well, switching gears now, experts are saying that there is a once-in-a-lifetime event happening right over our heads. It was discovered that the comet C-2022 E3 will be visible for the first time in, get this, 50,000 years.
It is expected the comet might get visible to the unaided eye, but we'll have to wait and see. Comets are notoriously hard to predict their brightness. It really depends on the amount of material that's melted off as it passes by the sun, and the interaction with the solar wind will sort of push on that, creating the comet's tail.
The director of Versant Power Astronomy Center says that for the best results while trying to see the comet, use binoculars on a dark night. Latch also says to use a star chart to make locating the comet a bit easier. Science is so cool. Absolutely love it. Hope you get a glimpse yourselves. Alrighty, well, something else we're about to get a glimpse of, the full 5-day. It's coming right up. Stay with us.
Our 2023 begins with some snow showers in the area. Temperatures are a bit on the cooler end, but how long will the snow stick around? And when are temperatures going to warm up? I'll have all the answers plus more coming up.
Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
Carey Medical Center in Caribou, Maine is recruiting for physical therapists. We offer generous benefits, competitive wages, loan forgiveness, relocation assistance, and you'll join a dynamic team of rehab professionals. Our hospital has been named one of the best places to work in Maine 2 years in a row. Ready for a new adventure? Do you have a passion for excellence? Learn more at careymedicalcenter.org or call 207-498-1270. Carey Medical Center, we're creating healthier communities.
Rowell's Garage has been serving customers in the greater Dover-Foxcroft region since 1946. Our goal is not just selling you a vehicle, but also giving you quality service to maintain your vehicle at peak performance. Browse our inventory online or in person. Whether it's a car, truck, or SUV, we can put you in the vehicle that is right for you. Sales, service, and parts. Rowell's Garage, doing business the right way every day.
Looking for a new work experience? Fox and ABC Bangor are partnering with local employers to feature the best local job opportunities, like this one.
Tyler came to Nitro Trailers a little over 4 years ago as a production welder,
And throughout his time here, with hard work, determination, positive attitude, coachable, Tyler has advanced many positions throughout that short amount of time. He's been a huge asset to the company. Really enjoy having Tyler here and hope to have many more like him in the future.
Hello, Maine. This is Steve McKay. Not sure what the weather will be in your neck of the woods, but there's a 100% chance of Luke showing up near you. Next Home Experience is listing and selling homes throughout Maine. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience.
Just remain calm. Grab the head.
You grab the head.
Animal Control premieres February 16th.
It's on me now.
On Fox.
It's Thursday. Our Maine weather today is brought to you by Leona May's Antique and Gift Shop in Newport. Come check out our 3 floors of antique treasures and gifts in our renovated 1800s home. All right, another cloudy day out there today. This time it felt more like a winter day outside, as we did have a little bit of snow in the action earlier today. Around 1 to 2 inches of snowfall was in the area. Now some cloud cover, a couple of flurries still lingering, but take a look down south. Of course, New York, Pennsylvania, a little bit warmer, and that blue is green, which means rain. This is all very light and scattered, but still some scattered rain and snow showers are in the northeast. For us, though, temperatures are much cooler. So once again, a deja vu from today, more snow showers tomorrow, and then we finally clear up by Saturday, but another 24 to 36 hours of some cloudy skies, some on and off snow showers. We're looking at possibly another 1 to 2 inches in some areas, 1 to 3 for the most part all across the region. But overall, not a big snowmaker. We do have a little bit of wind out there, a 10-mile-an-hour wind gust here in town, 7 in Bar Harbor, Rockland, slightly greater 13-mile-an-hour winds. And that is actually going to be continuing the next 24 hours. And we know it's coming, folks. That's why some small craft advisories are in effect until around 1 p.m. on Friday. And mind you, those might get extended to a little bit later in the day. Temperatures, though, remember Christmas, how cold it was? Well, now it is a whole different story. We even have some 70s and 80s back in Florida. So if you got anywhere to travel, I would recommend down south. We have a lot of warm air all the way up the eastern seaboard. Even New York City had some 50s earlier today. And of course, in the upper Midwest, that cooler air is sticking around. But still, overall, we are all above average. We should be hovering at around 29 degrees this time of year. Look what happens into Saturday. 38 degrees, so well above average, slightly cooler on Sunday. And then once again, milder air returns Monday, Tuesday, and then once again into Wednesday, possibly even 40 degrees by Tuesday. So get ready, more mild air will be in the region. Tonight, though, temperatures will be below freezing. Not really cold. We'll be hovering at around 25 tonight. Snow showers will be possible, and a couple of freeze sprinkles will also be possible as that warmer layer is in the atmosphere here in town. Tomorrow, though, temperatures once again hovering close to 32 degrees, and deja vu from today all over again. Some more snow showers in the region. An additional 1 to 3 inches of snowfall will be possible, mostly 1 to 2 here in town. Our extended forecast outlook does show lots of sunshine on Saturday. Even warmer temperatures. Bring out those sweaters and those jackets by Sunday. Look how cold we get. That cold front comes in, cools us back off into the 20s. And then Monday into Tuesday, we're pretty much in the clear. We'll see a good amount of sunshine. Temperatures rebounding nicely into those mid to upper 30s. Beth?
All right, so it definitely looks like there's some sunshine on the way. Always good news. Alrighty, well, sports is coming up next. Also good news. Stay with us.
Silver Fox Automotive is a family-owned and operated company with more than 30 years of experience. We are originally from the county and offer competitive prices and promise you will be completely satisfied with our work. We offer a stress-free experience to both our new and returning customers. We only use parts from reputable brands to ensure your vehicle is safe to drive. Here at Silver Fox, there will always be a friendly face to greet you. Come see us at 2004 Audlin Road in Herman.
Maine's #1 Kia dealer, Van Sickle Kia, has you covered. Front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, hybrid, or fully electric. Brand new 2023 Kia Sportage, Sorento, Soul, Forte, and more. Check out the all-new 2023 Kia Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg highway, or the affordable Sporty Forte with 41 mpg highway. Plus, get Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, the best in the business.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle. I guarantee it.
At Riptide Smoke Shop, we pride ourselves on being local. Riptide is locally owned and operated at its new location in Belfast. We have a large selection of glass from over 40 local artists. We have prices for everyone, starting at just a few dollars. Trying to quit? Try one of our 50-plus vape flavors. Riptide offers incense, pendants, clothing, art, and more. Come vibe with the Tide. A deal worth the drive.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Engstrom's Auto Service in Guilford. We specialize in all foreign and domestic service and alignments.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. We will start with some positive news. As it's been reported on Thursday, Damar Hamlin is improving, and he's making leaps and bounds. He is awake. He's squeezing the hands of family members. He's communicating through writing. On Thursday, we heard from the Patriots for the first time prior to the injury, and they're getting ready to play the Bills, Hamlin's team, this Sunday in what's definitely going to be an emotional game, probably the most emotional NFL game that we've seen in years. And as they did earlier in the week on social media, New England offered some really strong support for Buffalo, for Hamlin, and for Hamlin's family ahead of this weekend's matchup.
We're all in this together, and I think it's important to realize that football is a game that brings people together. And I think this is a great example of bringing not only our teams together, but the whole league, the whole world, really, the whole nation.
Life's bigger than this game, and I think this is one of these humbling moments for all of us that stands out. I'd say as a coach, it's different, and I've expressed this, to the players multiple times, but the amount of respect that I have for them and what they do, and how they do it is immense.
Kind words there from Belichick. Certainly whatever happens on Sunday, life is bigger than this upcoming game. Let's move on now to some high school sports. Construction crews broke ground over at Herman High School as part of the Pottle Field reconstruction project just months after the measure was voted through.
A lot of good stuff going on around here. As sad as I am to see the bulldozers plowing off Pottle that I've been playing, been a part of for 6 years, I'm glad to see this stuff being up in a pile right now.
Pottle Field in Herman is getting a makeover.
That would be a new track, new artificial turf playing surface over here at Pottle Field, practice field in between.
Crews began the reconstruction project on Thursday, and the new complex means so much more to Hawks athletics than just a new playing surface for their football team.
I always see the soccer teams practicing in the outfield of the baseball field, and from a coach's standpoint, that would be like me practicing on a 40-yard football field. It's just great all around for the school and the community.
And especially important is the track. Now, the Hawks track and field teams can practice and compete in Herman.
And to finally have a track, our track program has been paying Hamden to go over there and use their facilities, and it would be great for our track program to start building.
The previous playing surface was just inches above a layer of rock, which kept moisture directly underneath the grass. That caused more problems than just some mud stains on the jerseys.
I love to ground and pound, and I love to watch people roll around in mud, and I love that part of football. It's the fact that this playing surface is, in some spots, are just inches above rock, and in some parts you can be walking at the 40-yard line, and next thing you know, you're touching rock.
As for Coach Gallant and everyone else involved in athletics, seeing this project underway after receiving support from the entire community to vote this through means the world.
The citizens of Herman have seen what we're doing, are excited about it. They want to back us, and they want to help us take it to that next level. So I'm super excited, and thank you to all those people that voted it through.
Looking forward to see how that turns out. I love running up and down the sideline at Pottle Field, and now I don't have to worry about touching rock when I do it. Let's head to the hardwood now. In Husson, both of their men's and women's programs get their first taste of NAC action this weekend, and they're both coming off of some pretty long road trips, too. Starting with the women, they are coming off of a 1-1 trip in Daytona, Florida, where they rung in the new year together. Coach Kissy Walker tells me it was a great bonding experience to gear up for the back half of the year. They've got a few returners, but they're also working in 9 newcomers in the mix, so it's been a learning curve. They still have their sights set on a return to the NAC championship, but they know they won't be getting there overnight.
Being in that championship game and having a lot of returners certainly is something that everybody wants again. And I honestly think we just have to take one game at a time and look to keep building. I don't think we can put that pressure on that we've got to be in the championship or we've got to win the East. It's just game by game getting better and better. So we just kind of keep talking about the process.
As for the men, they have dropped a few in a row, but they've had a lot of close losses, several single-digit losses, and their most recent one against Occidental, a 60-59 loss, came down to the final possession. So the Eagles are defending NAC champions, and after a tough non-conference schedule, they're ready to get back to some familiar opponents. But like the women, they recognize there is a lot of newness this year, and they're also focused on the process more than they are results.
Well, one of the things that we recognized and we knew it was going to be a process is, we had a lot of guys moving into new roles. Even the guys coming back are into new roles. But I think all in all, the process of us maturing and understanding our roles is coming along. And as we enter conference play, hopefully we're ready to go.
Looking forward to see what they can do this weekend, both in action Friday and Saturday at Newman Gym. Let's stay with hoops now, and we'll head to some high school sports. A lot of games frozen out on Thursday, but we'll go to Brewer. A Class A North matchup between the Witches and the Tigers. Brewer looking to make it 9 straight. Tigers trying to hand them that first L of the season. Second quarter, Ryder Goodwin with the ball. Nice take, little two-man game between him and Cam Hughes, and then a nice take to the basket. Soft finish for the big man, which is up big. But Gardner would fight back. Here is Braden Elliott. He goes under the hoop, a nice move on the pump fake, and then he connects for 2. But the Witches were all over the Tigers. Here's Cam Hughes off of the inbounds, nothing but net from 3, and then turning defense into offense. Look at Brady Saunders right here. Pokes that out, leaks out for the long pass, and then lays it in nice and smooth. Brewer wins again. Final score is 80-40. Foxcroft also handed Dexter their first loss of the year, and Old Town beat Hermit tonight. Those are really all the games in our area. That's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Whether it's coaching kids soccer, volunteering at the local firehouse, helping out at the food pantry, or providing the children of our employees with scholarships, the New England Toyota dealers and the thousands of people we employ play a role in lifting up the community. We're proud to serve you and to be part of those things that benefit us all. Toyota. Let's go places.
Don't cry, don't whine. Get yours where I got mine. At BB's Tattoo Company, 262 Moosehead Trail, Newport.
Pond Hill Farms in Brooks, Maine offers 100% grass-fed beef in a variety of ways. Choose between individual cuts that are state inspected and ready to pop in your fridge or freezer. If you're looking to stock up, Pond Hill Farms offer the option to purchase hanging weight by quarter, half, or whole. We also offer live cattle if you're looking to grow your own herd. Pond Hill Farms also offer rental cottages with spectacular views of the farm and the Maine outdoors. Whether you're looking for fresh Maine meat or a gorgeous place to vacation, Pond Hill Farms is the place to be.
Hi, I'm Angelina Mucci.
And I'm Andy Mucci of Family Fun Bowling Center.
When we want to know the weather, we go to foxbangor.com.
Celebrating our 50th anniversary year, Family Fun Bowling Center has 20 lanes of 10-pin bowling at its best.
Come visit Candor Cafe inside the Bangor Mall, where your fresh and healthy meals are made for you by a certified nutritionist. We also offer plant-based and gluten-free options. Stop by and see us today. Candor Cafe inside the Bangor Mall.
You ready? There's no peeking.
It's festive family fun.
Window.
Christmas present.
Christmas gift. Gift is correct.
All wrapped up.
Snow boots. Snowshoes.
Snowshoes is correct.
There we go.
These are a little like Santa's helper's shoes.
In one picture-perfect show.
Come on, one more. Let's go. It's a hat.
Party
It's
hat.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus is correct.
Pictionary.
Weekdays at 10 on Fox 22.
Puzzles are easy. Family, that's a real challenge. It happens rarely, but everything clicks into place.
Young Sheldon.
Weekdays at 6 on Fox 22.
New movies, first looks, Abbott Elementary's public school initiative, and more. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with today's Hollywood Nation.
Welcome back, Walter. Abbott gives back, and a frightening franchise returns in today's Hollywood Nation. Today's First Looks has the terrifying trailer for Evil Dead Rise. The next chapter in the Evil Dead saga centers around two estranged sisters and one frightening family reunion cut short by the rise of demons. The horror flick is in theaters April 21st. Hulu has First Picks of History of the World Part 2, which premieres this spring. The series' sequel follows up Mel Brooks' film Part 1 40 years later. Episodes feature sketches spanning different times in history. It stars Brooks, Wanda Sykes, Nick Kroll, and Ike Barinholtz. All are writers and producers on the show.
This may come as a surprise, but
Abbott Elementary is teaming up with Donors Choose for an initiative to help public schools. In celebration of the series' return, Donors Choose will match $500,000 in donations benefiting public school teachers for a possible $1 million in classroom funding. Teachers can post projects for funding now in time for January 10th, when Donors Choose drops a special code for doubled donations. And Bryan Cranston is in character as Walter White for a Pop Corners Super Bowl ad. The actor posted a photo on Instagram in Breaking Bad form with a bag of the snacks standing in the desert. The caption says, "Breaking soon," and the Super Bowl date, February 12th. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Well, actor Jeremy Renner's recovery continues as he receives a spa day at the hospital. The actor posting to social media on Thursday that a, quote, not so great day turned into a spa day with his mother and sister. In the video, you can hear the actor saying he had his first shower in a week or so as he received a head massage. Renner is recovering from 2 surgeries after being injured by a snowplow on New Year's Day near his Nevada home. And finally, a zoo in Milwaukee welcomes a new cutie. It's a new penguin. The Milwaukee County Zoo welcomes a Gentoo penguin. Its sex will be determined by a blood sample when it's 1 to 3 months old, and it doesn't have a name yet. The zoo says Gentoos are very curious and active, and they are native to Antarctica. Gentoos are listed as stable in the wild, and that is serious cuteness right there. Welcome to the world, little guy. Alrighty, folks. Well, that is going to do it for us from everyone here at Fox 22. Take care. Have a great rest of your night. And, of course, we hope to see you right back here tomorrow night at 10. Good night, everybody.
For more local